Hi, welcome. We are talking about miracles this week, and we are talking about the fact that they're not just your everyday things that happen that you're like, oh, that's neat, surprised. They are your impossible things that happen that God does because He is showing His glory and His power. And there's actually a scripture in the book of Mark, that says all things are possible. Who are they possible with? They're possible with God. And so miracles happen, but they happen because God has power and He can do all things. And I wanted to share with you kind of an incredible story about feeding the 5,000. And you might have heard this story lots of times before, but Jesus was with His disciples again, and they were teaching, and just lots and lots of people were coming to watch Him. And it was getting to dinner time. Well, the disciples don't have food to feed thousands and thousands of people, so they thought, hey, let's just send them home. But Jesus didn't want to do that. But the only thing they knew, there was a little boy in the crowd, and he had 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. And so Jesus had that brought to Him, and He prayed over it, and He told the disciples to start passing out the food. Well, 5 loaves, 2 fish. How far do you think that could go? How many people do you think it would feed? 5, 10, 15? Maybe if you got little pieces, right? Well, the story's called Feeding the 5,000, but the truth is, when they count the 5,000, that's only counting men. That's not counting the women and the children that were also there listening to Jesus. So it could have been doubled. That number could have been tripled. It could have been 10,000. It could have been 15,000. That's how many people. 5 loaves of bread, 2 fish. That's how many it fed. If that isn't a miracle, I don't know what is, because that is incredible. Why did Jesus do that? Do you think the people, all of those people that were there, they would see that and they would be amazed, and God's power and glory would be shown, and then they would leave there and they would go tell all the people that they know all about it, so they could see God's glory and power and how amazing He is and the things that He can do. Now, that doesn't look like it's something that's possible to us, to you, but here's what we do know. All things are possible with God. All things, anything. Now, you can say, well, you know what? I've prayed to God about this before and it didn't happen. Well, here's what I can tell you. God is what we call sovereign. Okay, that means He's in charge of everything. Nothing happens unless God allows it. And everything God does, there's a reason and a purpose for it. So here's what you need to know. Sometimes God answers our prayers the way we want to. We want Him to. And sometimes God answers the prayers He always answers the prayers the way He wants to. But sometimes it lines up with what we want, and sometimes it doesn't. But why does He do that? Because everything He does it to bring glory to His name, so that others can know Him and that they can join God's family and someday live forever in heaven with Him. All things are possible with God. All things. Remember that. Every day, when you pray, when you come up with hard things and good things, but always remember, God always answers your prayers. Sometimes it's the way it lines up with what you want, but it's always with what He wants, because He knows what's best for us. Have a great day. Bye, guys.